So Neil's not going to be happy with this, but I've been hugely lucky. I I remember when I was very young, I was 20, 21, 22, 23, 23. I just had my first serious punch in the face in business, and I'd gotten through it, and we'd survived it, and we'd moved to the other side. And I remember saying to my business partner at the time, if anyone ever tells me that I was lucky in my life, I'll punch them in the face. I've not been lucky. I've worked like crazy hard, and I've taken on crazy risk. And it's been, while all of my friends are out there partying, I'm dealing with all this shit for months on end in order to just get through this. And it's breaking me. It's taking me right to breaking point. I've just gotten myself through it. So if anyone ever calls me lucky, they can, go and get lost. And that was my view of things. And I remember that being an emotional moment and a kind of really galvanizing. I'm not lucky. I've worked my ass off. Fast forward a few years, and I'm in India, and I'm spending time in a slum with all these children who are in a slum school, and it's a tin shed, and it's sweltering heat, no clean running water, aid agencies dumping water on the side of the road, and I had come from a five-star hotel on one side of Mumbai, and I was on my way to a five-star hotel on the other side of Mumbai later that day. I spent this beautiful day with all these children in the school. I was at the end of it. I was exhausted from heat, and I was thirsty. I was dehydrated. And as I was leaving, there's a goat being slaughtered on the side of the road in this thing, and there's this guy who's twisting metal, and that's clearly his job of some sort. And I'm like, this is horrific. And then I get to my hotel. They open up the gates after checking the car, and there's sprinklers watering the gardens. And then I go past, and there's this waterfall feature. And then I go into my room. They've upgraded my room. My room is bigger than the school that I was just in, where 40 children were learning. It's fully air conditioned. And I pace around the room just trying to do this. And as I look out the window, I can actually see the slum where I just was. And then I decide I'm just overwhelmed. So I go and have a shower, and I turn on the shower, and they had a special shower that had 4 water jets. So it's got this water, and it was just this, that the water was this kind of thing. The theme of the day was just the basics of water wasn't there for these kids. And then and in that moment, I broke down, very upset, very emotional. But it hit me that my whole life I'd been lucky. Right? The taxpayer had put me through school. I'd had, when I broke my arm, I just went to the hospital and got it fixed. And when I wanted to start a business, I wasn't worrying about water and electricity and these sorts of things. There's just this life that I took for granted. And basically, I also kind of saw the world very differently in that moment. I said, I live in a time where if I want to jump on a plane, there's literally someone has built $1 trillion worth of planes that are flying around the world on the off chance I might want to fly. And someone's built $1 trillion of hotels on the off chance I might want to stay somewhere. And someone's put $1 trillion worth of food distribution on the off chance I might want to buy some food. Someone's put $1 trillion worth of banking systems in place on the off chance that I might need some banking. And I'm like, and suddenly my eyes were open to this just incredible fortune that was just sitting around me. And the barrier, the sense of self and identity melted away in that moment. And I felt this deep sense of connection to humanity. And there was no barrier between any resource or any person on the planet. There was just a much more of a gray line between everything that was going on in the world. And for me, that moment was like a moment of discovering my luck and also an obligation to do something with it. So that was kind of like a shift for me. And from that moment on, I've actually said, no, I'm no more hardworking than most people. Truth be told, you take the history of humanity, from Uber drivers to school children to people carrying water in Africa to nurses in the NHS. I'm really not doing anything special. I've just been very lucky to end up in a good position. So my answer shifted. My answer changed. That obviously hard work plays a role, a huge role. But in my case, luck played a bigger role.